Hi everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zencuda, and it must be Tuesday night because this is Tuesday Night Live at 7 o'clock. Welcome everybody. I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to come on. Tonight we're going to talk about toxic people and how to handle that in our life and what the best way to handle that in our life is. The reason why I wanted to do this broadcast tonight was because the astrology this week is actually pulling us into a lot of conflict in relationships. So I wanted to do this broadcast to give you guys some tips on how to really work out with that and all that kind of jazz. So a couple of announcements before we begin, since we're waiting for some people to come on. And if you're on, just give a little type in their message box so we can see that you're definitely in the comments. So first of all, March is going to be a action-packed month at Zencuda Soul Space on Thursday nights at 6:30. That's at govsradio.com. And you can also listen to the broadcast here on the Zencuda page. And we share it on a lot of different pages as well. It's on YouTube. Hi, Marianne. How are you? So March is going to be a fabulous month. On the 12th of March, our guest on the Soul Space on Thursday is Lois Martin. She's a numerologist. Some of you may know her locally and have had readings from her. And she's going to come on and talk to us about numbers. And it's a live call-in show, so you can get some advice from Lois. And then on the 19th, we have Lisa Fazio, who's a local spiritual artist. And she's going to come on to talk to us about all of her work and the classes that she has to offer. And on the 26th, I'm so excited about the 26th, we have Phoenix Green, who's one of my beautiful friends. And Phoenix is going to come on the 26th on the Soul Space podcast. And hi, Janine. Phoenix is going to come on the 26th, and he's going to talk about the vibration of the universe with me and the Schumann resonance. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's actually a scientific measurement of the vibration of the earth. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and how it affects us. So you definitely want to tune in for that. This month I'm spending most of my time on private readings. I don't really have an event booked. So you may want to just kind of follow me online, and we will have events coming out in the spring and April starting. So, hi Monica, hi Janine, hi Marianne. So tonight's broadcast is about toxic people and really how to handle them in our life and that kind of stuff. So I did this broadcast today. I chose this subject because I've been hearing a lot of drama going on, and I think part of that is also the astrology. We've got some planets going into Aries this month, and I did a March astrology video. If you want to watch that on YouTube, you can catch up on everything. And there's a lot of really intense energy coming through. We have a beautiful new moon full moon on the 9th, which is going to set off a lot of things. So I want to talk about this cancel culture that we have going on. And cancel culture is an actual slang term. It's a pop culture term that's out there now. And it is all about when someone does something egregious or somebody doesn't really conform to society's standard, or, somebody is disgraced like Bill Cosby or something like that. There's a cancel culture, and this is going around on social media where people are boycotting certain people, or they actually use the term, let's cancel them. And the actual motivation behind the cancel culture is to cause someone harm and allow them, to be boycotted to the point of really them being in detriment. That's really what it's about. If somebody doesn't share your politics, or if somebody doesn't share your opinion, now it's the cancel culture, and everyone's like, oh, let's just cancel them. So I want to talk a little bit about that and then kind of apply it to our personal lives. So I'd be really grateful if any of you want to just chime in and let me know if you're having a situation or what's going on in your lives, I recently had a situation where a very close friend of mine has completely cut me off. And basically because I had to step back and do some self-care, and they took that as misunderstanding. They took that as not being concerned for them because they were going through a very challenging time. And I think sometimes that happens to us where we're judged for, sticking to our own resolute ideas and sticking to our own opinions. And so I want to talk tonight about the difference between a toxic person that you are leaving for self-care and a toxic person that you're leaving to punish, because it's a big difference. And I think that's really what the test is for us when we have a situation in our life that we really feel the need to walk away from, that we feel the need to not participate in anymore. So there's a big difference between wanting to walk away from a situation that's no longer serving you because you really want to practice self-care. You want to put yourself in a place where it's much more healthy for you. You want to do more in your life, or you have goals, and this person's agenda is basically harnessing you in a fact where you're not accomplishing the goal, you're being held back, you're being restrained. Those are the type of relationships that, yes, sometimes you really do want to delete from your life or walk away from. But I think, hi Christine, hi Aaron, hi Gina, hi Elaine. But I think that the test for us, and where I've come to this conclusion in my life, is I think that we have to do it with loving kindness. And I think that the question to really ask ourselves is, am I cutting this person out in a harsh way because I'm angry and I really want them to have accountability, and I really want to put them in deprivation? Because I think sometimes that's what we do when we're angry, right? We're really pissed off at somebody, so the next thing we do is we're just cutting them off. I don't need this stuff. I don't need that. I'm going to walk away from that. And I think when we do that, we should really question our own motives. Because I think in elevating our own lives, evolving our own soul to a point of elevation, and living in loving kindness means we think about it a little bit. And maybe we do have to walk away, and maybe we do have to detach or step back a little bit, but maybe we don't do it in anger, we do it with love. And so many times I have removed myself from a situation because it's detrimental to me, but I will explain to that person why I'm taking a step back, or I will still send love there every day. And when we do that, oftentimes we call that holding space. And so we still want this person, in our life. We still have love for them, but we're not willing to accept bad behavior. We're not willing to take on something that's going to be detrimental for us. So I think that's the first thing I wanted to say, that there's a really big difference between self-care and wanting to punish someone, right? So when you're thinking about taking someone out of your life, or really have to cut out the poison, everyone's so harsh about that. And I think social media has now become, the current day stigmatization, right? Where we want to stigmatize somebody. So what's the first thing we do? We go on social media and we start talking about it, right? We go on social media and we start saying, oh, well, I'm asking this for a friend or whatever. And it's really a read between the lines, like, this person is not a good person. And I think we start to get into judgment that way. And what that's going to do is just actually prolong the negativity for us. So that's the first thing I wanted to say is, if you have a situation like this in your life that you really need to walk away from, do it with loving kindness. Because if you do it with anger and you do it with bitterness, it's going to come back to bite you. Because those negative feelings are going to become amplified in your life as you don't let go of them. So get to a point of reconciliation in your own mind about what your behavior has to be in this situation. And then do it with loving detachment. Do it with real self-care as your motivation. Not going into a place of, this is a bad person. We don't want to judge that. The situation may be harmful to you, and you need to remove yourself from it in a loving way. So make sure, first of all, you know the difference between self-care and wanting to punish somebody. That's the first thing, right? You want to be mature about that. Because I think taking right action is, we don't want to harm somebody. We may be angry for a little bit, but then we come back to earth and we're more or less like, okay, well, I was feeling that way for a few minutes or a few days, and now I realize I do have affection or love for this person, or I have at least understanding and acceptance for this person. So I need to detach for myself, and it really has nothing to do with them. So that's the first thing. Kind words, clean heart. Kind words, clean heart, right? When you get to detach. Second part of this that I want to talk about is a little more spiritual, and not so much just on the topic of just plain good advice. This is a little deeper. sometimes we have situations that are really challenging. Relationships, especially sometimes in our romantic relationships. We have situations that are really, really challenging. And our instinct is to run away. Our instinct is to just toss this person over. And then we'll be alone or single for a little while, and then we'll start up another relationship, and all of a sudden, we start to see a little bit of a pattern. This person seems like the other person. Or this person is acting like your ex. Or you have a really good girlfriend. Or gentleman friend, same-sex friend. And you are close with them for a while. And then it kind of fades away because you don't like something they do. So you just ghost them. You don't even go there anymore. You just like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore this person. And then you meet somebody else who's going to be a buddy, girlfriend, hanging out, guy, going to the games, whatever. And they start to act like that other person. And for an inkling, you start to think, wow, is this me? Like, am I attracting these people? Or you start to think, wow, is there something wrong with me that this keeps happening? Like, I seem to be a toxic person magnet, or a selfish person magnet, or a narcissist magnet, right? I always say, empaths attract narcs, right? So, yes and no. The answer to that is, sometimes people come into our lives, and they're challenging, and it's difficult, and they bring out things in us, and triggers in us, and our instinct is we don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to call that person back. I don't need this crap in my life, blah, 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 blah. I can do better than this. I have plenty of friends. I don't need these friends. But you do need them because they're there to teach you lessons. And until you learn the lesson, you're going to keep meeting the same people. So that's the other thing to ask yourself about removing somebody from your life. Is this person someone that is really not good for you and you really just need to walk away? Or is this a person that you've encountered before in a different situation, in a different person? Is this the same personality you've encountered in another person prior? Is this the same behavior you've had with two different exes? Is this starting to feel like your old marriage? If that's the case, then that's where your lessons are. And maybe you're not supposed to walk away. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying stay somewhere you're being abused or mistreated. What I'm saying is look at your part in it. What are you doing that's making this thing happen over and over again? Because I'm a firm believer that that's the universe telling you what you have to fix. So really look at those things. Because I think we've come into this cancel culture, and what happens is we keep going through people or situations and things, and they're all very similar, but we're not learning, and we're not learning our lesson. And so we're going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. And we never learn that way. We never evolve that way. So a couple of things to ask yourself if you keep seeing the same thing happen and the same pattern arising over and over again is, what do I do that could possibly be causing this? Now, sometimes it's not you. I'm not saying it is. But oftentimes, that's really what the karma is in our life. I can give you an example. For many years, I was extremely self-sufficient. And I would never ask for help with anything. I was Superwoman. I was going to do it all. I don't need you. I'm good. No. You don't feel bad for me. I got it covered. I am doing it. I don't need anybody. And then I would strangely wonder why I would always attract these people in my life that were really selfish and never helped me with anything. Well, gee, I told everybody in no way, shape, or form that I didn't need any help, right? Oh, no, I got it. I'm strong. I'm this, I'm that. And then I wondered why I kept attracting people who were selfish and didn't want to help me with anything. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. So that's just one example. But it could be that maybe you push people away. And then you wonder why you have people in your life that aren't very affectionate. Maybe you have certain habits and things that are kind of off-putting and maybe not so attractive. And maybe that's why you attract certain people with the same habits. So really look at that. And I think that's great. Christine says that she actually parted ways with someone today with loving kindness, and it was well received. And that's the other thing I was going to say. Most of the time, kind words, clean heart, most of the time when your intention is really in loving kindness and right action, it will always be well received. Rarely is it not when you really have love on your side. I can quote a million different songs, but love is all we need. What we need is love. Love changes everything. And it's really, really true. If you have the intention of love, most of the time it is received with love. I know sometimes I've had to, tell people things that were not easy when I needed to remove myself from certain things. And I always prefaced it with, I hope you receive this with the love that it is meant. I hope you receive this with the love that it is given with. And I think that sets a different precedence because everybody's out to get everybody these days. You see, every other post on social media is about walking away, and sometimes that's commendable. Sometimes we need to walk away from very emotional situations if we've, really exhausted them and they're not helping us in any way. And absolutely we do. But we need to have the discernment that we're going to keep repeating lessons if we don't take our own part and our own responsibility in this. And I think the astrology this year with the Pluto-Saturn conjunction that we have and the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction we have coming into the end of the year, I think that the universe is really poised for this kind of philosophy. And I think the universe really, really wants us to take responsibility for our part in our life. And once we do that, there are many rewards that we'll find because that illumination of who we really are, warts and all, brings us to another level of accomplishment. And then the rewards come in because we can really observe things. And that's one of the reasons why meditation and mindfulness is so important to practice. Because when you do that, it gives you a detachment in your life. You're fully present, but you're also detached and you really see other people's side. And be aware that sometimes there's a difference between someone being toxic and someone practicing their own self-care. Sometimes people have to take a step back from you in order to work their own issue. Sometimes people have to take a step back from you in order to care for themselves. And it's got nothing to do with you. So you should not take that personal. So I don't know if anybody has any comments about what I'm saying. I think that this kind of all really hits home for a lot of people. I know most of the work that I've done in my personal life over the last 7 years has really been about this kind of stuff. And, I came off a lot of loss in my life, and that made me bitter for a very short period of time. Just it's not my personality to remain in that. But when I was that way, I really went through people. I think I cycled people a lot because I just didn't have the tolerance level for it. And I think sometimes tolerating certain things comes with maturity, and I'm certainly not advocating that anyone should tolerate bad behavior, but I think that there is some behaviors we need to tolerate so that we can learn lessons. And, I recently had someone in my life who had anger issues. And I'm not one to put up with any kind of thing like that because I don't like the energy around me because of the work I do. But when this person had outbursts or had issues with that, I could understand they were in pain. It wasn't about me. It wasn't, even though it seemed like it was directed at me, it wasn't really directed at me. It was about erupting something that was hurting in them and trying to get rid of that feeling and get rid of that frustration. And the only way they knew how in the moment. And by staying with that person and being a friend to that person, they were able to really overcome that. And I think that my friendship may have helped because they had support. It wasn't somebody running out the door. It was somebody saying, hey, this is an issue that the universe wants you to look at. You need to get to the bottom of it. And I think that's how we really can help all of each other, is to be a little tolerant, a little accepting. And, all this cancel, delete culture, maybe take a step back from that and sometimes look, does this person just really need someone? Is this person in detriment themselves and just doesn't really know what to do? I also think it's become really popular for people when they're confused to go and isolate, and sometimes what's been very hard for me in my life, but I now do, is I will say to someone, especially a close friend, I will say, I'm really not sure what is the right thing to do here. I love you and I want you to know I'm really trying, but I'm not really sure what you need from me. And just opening that dialogue changes everything. Because what would normally be a conflict and a power struggle and a push-pull, trying to read someone's mind or not know where we're going here, now becomes someone maybe sitting and just you sitting quietly with them and then telling you what they need. And realizing you don't have to jump in the boat with them. It's their journey. But maybe they just need someone to sit quietly while they go through it and hold that space for them so that they have support in the world. And I think a lot of toxicity could probably be cured if we had support. It's just my main, thing. Because I know when I was a toxic person, because I was going through a lot of stuff in my life and didn't know what I was doing, certain people who supported me at the time really are still in my life now. And I call them the army of angels that saved my life. John says he thinks I think we know when it's time to step back from certain people or things. I think so, and I'm going to give you couple of pointers about that, okay? And always remember, I'm sorry I'm sniffling today. I actually cleaned out a storeroom today, and my allergies are ridiculous. So, a couple of things that might help us in the discernment of when to walk away and when to stay. Should I stay or should I go now? First of all, when you're thinking about it, think about, am I doing this because it's about me? Is this really something I'm doing for my own self-care? Because I need to, go step back and go over here and take care of me now. Or are we doing it because we want to really force that person into feeling our absence because we hope it will give them some accountability? Because if you're walking away from a toxic person because of that, that is not the right reason. So the right reason would be because you need to care for yourself. And you have no feelings of negativity or anger or anything else. You're allowing love to be there, but you're just not going to do it in person in the physical world. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, and this is really everything, okay, when you're in a situation like this, is listen to your body. And, excuse me, I know that sounds very, very primitive, but that's where everything starts. If you find yourself being around this person and energetically not feeling good, you're getting something in the solar plexus right under the rib cage, you're getting something in your root chakra that, you want to run away. You're looking at the clock, you can't wait to get away from this person. Every time they walk in the house or walk in the room, you're just like, I don't know if I can handle this person today. If you have headaches around them, if you're exhausted, we're exhausted for so many reasons in this world right now, but one of the reasons is we're exhausted because we're letting people take our energy. And so really listen to your body. And that's when you know if you have to leave this situation because you need to care for yourself. Because our body never lies to us. Our body processes energy, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. And just like electricity, which is what energy is, you're going to pick it up. And you're going to know if this is a good energy or a bad energy. A good energy makes you feel lively. It makes you feel energized. It makes you feel like you can't wait to see this person. You can't wait to have a conversation with them. You can't wait to have a meal with them. You feel really good about them. When they're not there, you feel their absence in a good way. I remember at one time knowing a relationship was over because it's when I was really young. Because I was like in my early 20s. And it was the first person I ever lived with. And I remember I was like 25. And I remember towards the end, I used to come home and look in the closets. And if his clothes were still there, I was like really upset. I wanted him to leave so bad. So that would be a good indication, right? Just had to put that in there because I'm human, right? So funny when you're young. But you really want to listen to your body. If you just thinking about this person gives you anxiety, it's time to go. But analyze it as well, because if you're getting anxiety just even thinking about that person, ask yourself, am I getting anxiety because of them? Is it something they're doing in the relationship, or is it something they're doing, in our friendship or a familial relationship? Or is it, I'm just afraid to commit? Is it my own fear? Am I projecting it on this person? Your body will tell you. Your body will really tell you. So John Minetta, you are getting so wise. Hi, Tom. Said hi to Christine, Michael, Elaine. Okay, so anybody else have anything they want to add? I'll wait a few minutes. But I think that's all I got. We're going to have a new moon on the 9th, which isn't for a few days, so I'll do another broadcast about that. Let me just look at my notes for a minute. I always prepare for these things and look at my notes. Yeah, the other thing is I think we're all like really too sensitive sometimes, you know. The minute somebody doesn't agree with us, we're like, oh, they gotta go. Or, oh, they're toxic. Or, oh, they're a narcissist. Or, you know, and I think really we need to all come down to earth a little bit and, you know, be a little bit more tolerant. You know, life is not a comfortable thing. Sometimes we need to sit in the discomfort in order to understand what we really need to work on in our life. And again, I'm not advocating anyone be abused or in, you know, a relationship that's making you want to rip your hair out or making you feel physically sick. But I am saying that sometimes we need to stay and learn a couple of lessons about how best to handle it next time or how best we need to handle it so it doesn't happen next time. So definitely just check in with your bods and see how that's going to be. You always want to keep your vibration high, even when you're going through a withdrawal from a person. And that's really, really important. So I don't see any more comments. You guys are all very quiet tonight. I do have angel cards, and I wanted to pick a couple. And this is just for the energy of this evening. I feel like we're going to go through a little bit of challenge because of some of the... I feel like we're going to go through... I dropped a card. I feel like we're going to go through a little bit of a challenge because of some of the astrology coming in, which I did do the video about. We have a lot of people on tonight. It's starting to be beautiful spring weather too, which I love. I hope you'll all tune in on Thursday night's podcast. We're going to be talking about the astrology and pulling some cards. And then the rest of the month I have a guest every night. For those of you who tuned in late tonight, on the 12th I have the beautiful Lois Martin. She is coming on to do her numerology and talk numbers. So if you want to call into the show that night, she'll talk to you about your life path numbers. On the 19th, I have the beautiful Lisa Fazio, local artist. She's going to talk to us all about how she does her soul portraits and all the classes that she's going to offer us. And then this show I'm really excited about. On the 26th, I have my beautiful friend Phoenix Green. He's going to come on and we're going to talk about the vibration of the universe, how it affects us, and something called the Schumann resonance. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's actually a scientific principle that measures the vibration of the earth. Really interesting stuff. So you guys have to let me know what kind of shows you want to do and what you want on the show. So I'm going to pick a card for Mr. John Moneta. He's our #1 fan this month. And John, these are angel cards. Okay, what have I got for you? I've got... Mr. Moneta. I know you are retired, John, but I keep telling you that you're going to do something spiritual and you're going to be doing something in the world. And this card is career transition. And it says, Archangel Chamuel, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career event. And look at this beautiful angel on the card. Chamuel is an angel that we pray to when we want things in harmony. So, John, you got something brewing there, baby. You're going to be doing something. Yeah. So I'm going to pick a card for the beautiful Michael Zinn. He's so artistic. I've been seeing his posts lately. He's very tapped in. So Michael, this card is for you. I hope you're still out there. Michael's all about love, for those of you who know. Michael, I feel like this card is going to definitely touch your heart. It is Divine Order, Archangel Raguel. And I got to pull it back so the light, you can see it. Divine Order, Archangel Raguel. Everything is love. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So I hope that you see that, Michael. And look at beautiful Archangel Raguel with the beautiful balancing. So there's things obviously happening in your life for you. I'm so sorry about my allergies tonight. They're just so bad. There was so much dust in the storeroom. Elaine, we're going to pick a card for you because you were a guest on my show a couple weeks ago. People are still talking about you, baby. Okay, Elaine, your card is Brilliant Idea, Archangel Uriel. Look at the beautiful horse that she's on, unicorn that she's on. Archangel Uriel's on a unicorn. I can't get it. There we are. Brilliant Idea. I'm going to put this there. I don't know if you can see this card, Elaine. Okay. There we are. And the card says, Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action and bring your idea to fruition. So whatever you were thinking about, Elaine, they want you to do it. They definitely want you to do it. Okay, our angels are talking to us tonight. Got your card, baby. Terry just joined us. Um, so the cards are going to be all very shortly. We're actually doing a little video about them as we speak. Miss Janine. They're circle light cards. They're gorgeous. Um, Mary's on, Aaron's on. Christine, we're going to pick a card for you, and so we're going to pick one for Aaron. I love your card. Janine. Okay, so we'll do it first, Janine. Christine and Aaron. So your card is going to be, oh my God, you got the same card as Elaine just got. Brilliant idea, Archangel Uriel. Yes, he is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So if you're about doing something, you got to do it. And this one is for Christine Faye. Okay, Christine. I feel like you're undergoing a lot of changes. Oh, Christine, I know that you always mourn your dad and you feel him around you, and boy, you're going to love this card. It says, hello from heaven, Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. Wow, look at all the purple in that card. You know how I love purple. Look at this beautiful card, Christine. Wow, hello from heaven. That's your dad. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. See? He's never far away. And Aaron Bartles, we're going to get you a card. Okay, Aaron. Ooh, Aaron, you have life review. Archangel Jeremiel, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. And I know you've been going through a lot of changes. You have a lot of energy in Capricorn. And that is a gorgeous card. Look at all the red in that card. You've got a lot of things coming up. I feel like you're just so lucky right now. I feel like the planet Jupiter is just really giving you a lot of beautiful blessings. A lot of hard work coming in as rewards right now for you, Aaron. Maggie Valentine's with us. Yeah, Christine. Wow, right? When I saw that card, I was like, she's going to flip. Yep. He's around you. And I feel like you needed that today. Maggie, we're going to pick a card for you. I know you didn't ask for one, but I'm getting you one, and then I'm going to sign off for the night. Maggie Valentine, your card is Spiritual Understanding, Archangel Raziel. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Look at how beautiful this card is. It's like the Merkaba. Yeah. So that's for you, Maggie. If you are undergoing some confusion or having something change in your spiritual life, just know that you're going to have spiritual understanding. Yep, Aaron says a lot of good things soon, right after retrograde. Elaine Risotto, didn't finish what I was saying. Your voice didn't finish what I was saying. Elaine, elaborate on that because I don't know what you're talking about, sweetie. Okay. And that's about it, I think, tonight. So I'll wait for if Elaine answers me, and I'm going to put these cards back. And you know what? I didn't pick a card for me, so I need one, right? Let me see what my cards... I have been having such a great life lately. I don't know, boy. It's like everything's just coming together for me, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying it because hard work really does pay off, guys. Oop, the cards just went all over. Just want to thank you guys for spending time with me tonight. These connections are really beautiful. I can feel the energy out there. Everyone who's out there in the Zenkuda community right now, just send love to each other because I really can feel you all. I really can feel you all. My voice is going in and out, Elaine. I'm sorry. I don't know if other people... Hi, Suzanne. Okay, so this card is for me. Counselor. Archangel Azrael, you are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Boy, the cards are really with us. Look at that beautiful car and a little light around this full guys. Oh my goodness, just love it. Just love it. So beautiful. And we'll pick our last card for Susan. Annie just joined us. Hey Annie, how are you? I'm going to pick the last card for Suzanne. Suzanne, I feel your dad around you too. Suzanne just got the card from Archangel Bagwell, Clairsentient, which is notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. And I think when you called to the podcast last Thursday at govsradio.com, we talked about this for you, that you were going to be signs. So watch out there. Okay. Yeah, I don't want voice to be going in and out. It's got to be the internet because it's not equipped. Okay, so I'm going off tonight. And if you want to watch this broadcast back, and you can watch me on the replay. Thank the I always thank the video. Oh yeah, lately, I don't know if it's because Mercury's reading correct soon. I card Annie, I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. A lot of computer glitches to me. I don't know if you guys are now. Annie just picked a card for you, and it's really appropriate, but it's just everything is how it needs to be right. Best and order. And it's beautiful angelic card balance. And I think we got this card. Alright, so I'm going to say to you guys, and you enjoyed the broadcast. The video on the want to replay back, and then I also on the page, and they mark astrology video up to if you guys want to use the astrology power. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Alliance. I love this is energy I like from. Thank God I didn't have to casualty night, and we'll see you all shortly. Bye bye. Forget Thursday night 6:30.